Kobe Bryant passed away yesterday. It's been very hard for a lot of folks who were inspired by him, and the fact is, none of us also know when that moment will come. Tomorrow is not a right, but a sacred privilege, yet sometimes we live as though we are going to last and live forever, putting our life on hold, on layaway, not loving fully, and when that moment comes, we are filled with regret. And it's a reminder, to love fully, to live fully, to savor each moment. If you knew the date and time of your death, would it change how you're living? Would it change how you're loving? And so if there's those in your life that you love, let them know how much you love them, forgive them, hold them close, hug them close, so that when that moment comes, you can throw your arms open, knowing that you lived a life well lived with no regrets, because a life where you have loved fully is a life lived fully. Because the fact is, me, you, Bob Marley, Bruce Lee, Gandhi, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad Ali, Mandela, Bruce Lee, all of these great ones will, at some moment, we will all die, and in each day we all have the same amount of time, 86,400 seconds. And the question becomes, what are you doing with the time that you've been given? Are you fulfilling your potential? And so if you knew the date and time of your death, would you do something different? Would you live differently? And if not, why not now? Why wait for a special moment in the future to celebrate? When someone we love dies, it can be so challenging and confusing to understand why. Why does God let this happen? Why do people we love die? Why do tragic things happen? And on some level, we will never understand, I think, with our conscious minds. Things may not make sense to our conscious minds, but I think it's also important that we remember that we incarnate into this human experience as souls, to have a human experience, and part of the human experience is to experience all of the totality of life, the beauty, the light, the dark, the up, the down, the summer, the winter, and life and death. And part of life is death, and there is no life without death and no death without life. And ultimately, as souls, we incarnate to have this human experience. And there's certain lessons that our soul is here to learn. And to me, life is a school with certain lessons to learn. And everyone is our teacher. Relationships and career and everything we go through is a part of our evolutionary process for our soul's growth and evolution. And if life is a school, at some point, in school, you reach a point where you go from grade 11 to grade 12, then grade 12 to university, and you come to a point where you maybe face certain challenges and you overcome them and you learn lessons and you graduate. And graduation is not an ending, but a new beginning and a new journey. And so I really believe that as a part of the human experience, when we learn the lessons that our soul needs to learn, we get complete. And we get complete and we graduate and we move to another domain, another dimension. Our soul is done on planet Earth. And so, as difficult as it is, I choose to celebrate our brother Kobe Bryant. Number one, for the example, the shining example and possibility of excellence and greatness that he manifested. Yes, he was given a gift, but greatness is a moment-to-moment choice, and he's someone that set the example of an individual who lived that moment-to-moment choice daily so that he could manifest his greatness in human form as a human being. And I also choose to celebrate Kobe Bryant because even though he was taken way too quickly, and I can't even imagine what it's like for his wife and his family and his kids. I can't even imagine. And I send them love, and I send them healing, and I send them blessings. 41 years is very young, as a young man, and so much life to live. And we'll never understand. But as sad as it is in this moment, I'm choosing to also focus on the fact that this planet, we were given 41 years to experience the beauty and magic of this manifestation of the divine called Kobe Bryant. What a privilege it was to have him for 41 years. And it's a precious blessing to have experienced him for 41 years, and obviously we would love to have had him for another 41 years, but the gift of having been inspired by Kobe Bryant for 41 years, and it's amazing. And the third thing is for me to celebrate that, even though I may not understand with my conscious mind, trusting that his soul knows its journey. And even though we may not understand, perhaps on some level, his soul has graduated from this human experience. And so in that sense, I celebrate Kobe's soul graduation. Kobe, you'll be missed deeply. And so folks, let's be inspired by Kobe Bryant to live life fully. Let those in your life know, so that if you did die today, you have no regrets, that they know how much you love them, how much you care about them. And if there's someone you need to forgive them, bless them, make sure you have no regrets. Because at the end of the day, love is all that matters. The rest is just bullshit.